I remember when the all first hit the beach, I tried to go in the beach, they tried to arrest me. Miss Leota came pick me up in a golf cart and rode me out there, at least where I could see what we're looking at, you know. But it's, you know, we got to get the point across. Some fishermen are getting a fair amount of money, but is it enough? No. How you know? How can anybody know if it's enough? What are we looking at in 3 years from now? You know, if they give you a couple of $100,000 and everything turns back normal next year, maybe it might be enough. But if you can't work shrimp for the rest of your life, what are we looking at? We seeing shrimp shells in the water coming up on the beach that I ain't never seen before. And I don't think there's too many people that's 51 years old that's seen as many shrimp as I've seen in my life. And I've talked to people older than me, they never seen that before. We got dead whales out here. You know, dead whales equate to bad shrimp sales. You know, if whales are dying, well, what are we looking at? We got shrimp with black in the gills. We send it into the wildlife. They get somebody from BP or whatever to test it, and they come back and say it's black gill disease. So I asked the guy, if they're always blue, will we have blue gill disease, you know? They got a lot of lies going on, a lot of things are being hidden. They're not telling the public the truth. And basically what BP's doing, they got rid of all the local people because they don't want the local people to see what's going on. They're bringing in contractors from out of town because they don't care. They don't care. They got rid of all the people that was trying to pick up the oil. With the trippers and the local people, we got to live here for the rest of our life. So they wanted to pick up oil, but BP didn't want you to pick up oil. So they got rid of us. And they brought in these people that just sit there all day long and draw a check. And the tax dollar goes back to the state where they come from. And that got to stop. And they got to stop now. We got to let BP know that they're not going to come into our backyard and take over our livelihood. Hell no, we're not going to let that happen. And this is just the first rally. If BP thinks that we won and done and we're going to finish, they got another thought coming. Because we're going to meet, we're going to make it bigger, we're going to make it better, and we're going to fight for our homeland. This is where we live. Everybody ready to fight for where they live? Yeah. They're teasing me up here, But I'm glad to see we got a good turnout today. And I hope BP gets the message. I hope Feinberg gets the message that you know, when Massachusetts, the state of Massachusetts gets $47 million to study us down here, when all 5 Gulf states together get $22 million, there's something wrong with that, Mr. Obama. We got to get the word to him. We're smart enough to study our own coast. We don't need people from Massachusetts to come here and tell us what to do. We don't need BP to come here and tell us what to do. We ought to be telling BP what to do. That's right. That's right. You know, we got the EPA tells BP to stop spraying us with poison. BP tells them no. You know, we got to tell BP what to do. Things got to change around here. And the more people we can get together, and the more events like this we can stage throughout the state, we're going to get the point across to BP that we got enough. They ruined our life. We don't know what we're looking at. Every day we go home, we go to sleep. The uncertainty, you don't know what you're looking at. They're trying to pressure you into taking a small amount of money when you don't know what the future's going to bring. You know, BP ought to be held liable to everything's back to normal. And they need to fix it, and they need to pay for it, and we shouldn't have to worry about it. We should have enough money that even if it's never fixed, we should never have to worry about it because BP did that to us. Okay, well, I got a special lady standing on the side of me. If it wouldn't be for her, y'all wouldn't be here.
That's right.
I'm the face, but she's the work. She did all the work, and I like to introduce special friend and my colleague, Miss Karen Hopkins.
Yeah, Karen! Thank you so much, guys, for being here today. Without all of you, this would not have been possible. Without all the help from my Facebook friends, from our people on the island, this would not have been possible. The gratitude I feel right now is almost overwhelming. I'm not going to speak long. I don't have a whole lot to say today because there are so many more important people here to speak. I do want to show you guys one thing. This is my grandson, Zane. Zane is 9.5 years old. If you don't ever have the strength to fight for your right for clean air, for clean water, and clean land, then remember the face of this child. Remember the face of every child who has to live along this coast, who's being poisoned on a daily basis. Remember the children, because what we leave behind, they will have to suffer with. We also have a special guest here who's ready to speak, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with him and his work, and we are so grateful that he's taken time out of his busy schedule to be here with us today. I'd like to introduce Mr. Stephen Baldwin.
Thanks. That's my pleasure. It's a privilege. It's my privilege to be here today. I got to give you a little backstory here.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Ooh, okay. Not used to the American Idol kind of situation here. But I want to give you a little backstory, if that's all right. And the real reason I'm here is because everybody thinks that my brothers and I were born into the business, but that's not true. My dad was a school teacher for 30 years on Long Island, New York. I grew up on the water my whole life. I have a great appreciation for being good to the earth and good to the water. And my dad made $25,000 a year and raised 6 kids. And I'm the kind of person that was raised by that man in such a way that I will never, ever forget that. I don't care who you are, where you're from, or how much money you make. People are people. Human beings are human beings. Life is life. It doesn't matter. So I'm here in the spirit of that idea. I came down here, started shooting a documentary. I met Billy Nungesser, went down to Plaquemines. I walked in, and it wasn't until I met you people and I saw with my own 2 eyes the looks on your faces that I realized this wasn't just an opportunity for me to, for my business, come down here and shoot some documentary. There was a much more important reason, and it was to do the right thing.
There you go!
So that's why I'm here today. I'm here today because the truth needs to go out. And this isn't a joke. I did an interview last night on Fox Business News, talked about today's rally. A nice guy named David Asman does a show called Scoreboard on Fox Business News, and he allowed me to come on and talk about the rally today. My publicist talked to 6 or 7 or 8 different news media outlets, and every producer said the same thing. There's no more story about the situation in the Gulf and those people in the region. That story's over.
No, it's live! Live!
So, just so you know, I'm going to ask for 2 things. I know that prayer works.
Got it.
So put the word out for prayer, because God is on your side, number 1. And number 2, stop at nothing to be heard. These rallies got to get bigger and louder, and you got to do whatever you need to do to be sure that you're protected and looked out for. Because I'm telling you, this administration and BP the government and everybody, the media, they're not going to look out for you, y'all. They're not looking out for you. That's the truth.
We know that.
So you have my commitment. I'm here with a good friend of mine named Scott Smith. He's a guy who's an inventor. He's invented a wonderful product. He's standing right in front of me. He's got a product here that's one of the products that's part of the solution called OpFlex. And I'm here representing that as well. And listen, that ain't business. It's a solution. It works. It's real. I just want to do what I can to be a part of the solution. That's really why I'm here. So God bless you guys. Thank you. I'm on board to help you. I'll be to every single rally that my wife lets me come to. God bless you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Mobile broadcast news.
Point across, some fishermen are getting a fair amount of money, but is it enough?
No.
How you know? How can anybody know if it's enough? What are we looking at in 3 years from now? You know, if they give you a couple of $100,000 and everything turns back normal next year, maybe it might be enough. But if you can't work shrimp for the rest of your life, what are we looking at? We seeing shrimp shells in the water coming up on the beach that I ain't never seen before. And I don't think that's too... I remember when the all first hit the beach, I tried to go on the beach, they tried to arrest me. Miss Leona came pick me up in a golf cart and rode me out there, at least where I could see what we're looking at, you know. But it's, you know, we got to get the many people that's 51 years old that seen as many shrimp as I've seen in my life. And I've talked to people older than me, they never seen that before. We got dead whales out here. You know, dead whales equate to bad shrimp sales. You know, if whales are dying, well, what are we looking at? We got shrimp with black in the gills. We send it into the wildlife. They get somebody from BP or whatever to test it, and they come back and say it's black gill disease. So I asked the guy, if the all was blue, would we have blue gill disease?